Welcome to FinBuild classes on bond mathematics. In this session, we'll be seeing about the valuation of the bond and we'll be continuing with the basics of calculations of the bond pricing. So we'll be calculating the value of the bond with a required rate of return of 10%, 12% and 8%. We have the face value of the bond is rupees 1000. The coupon rate that we have is 10% and the maturity period of the bond is 5 years. So we'll be working with the help of the table, right, that we have done in the earlier session. So let us draw the table. First we'll be calculating for the required rate of return, which is nothing but r, that is 10%, right? And we have the coupon rate that we have given is nothing but 10%. So we can find the amount of the coupon value. The coupon amount is nothing but the coupon rate into the face value of the bond. So 10% into 1000 is nothing but we'll be having the coupon of rupees 100. So first we'll be calculating with the required rate of return for 10%. So we have be creating the table here, the coupon payment, or we can say the cash flow. Then we have the present value interest factor. Here the required rate of return is nothing but 10%. Then we have the present value cash flow, right? Then we have the year, the maturity of the years. We have 5 years, first year, second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year, right? So we'll be working this out. Now coupon payment, we have 100 for the first year. 100 is the payment. Second year, same 100 is the payment. Third year, 100 is the payment. Fourth year, 100 is the payment. And fifth year will be getting the coupon payment and the interest, the maturity value back, 100 plus 1000. So now we'll be calculating the present value interest factor. This can be done with the help of your BA2 plus calculator. We can do the with the help of the BA2 plus calculator. Let's get into that. Now we'll be calculating the present value interest rate factor, right? So first year, so n is 1, right? And we have the interest required rate of return is nothing but 10%. And we'll be calculating for 1 rupee the present value interest factor, right? So 1 minus FV and compute the present value factor. The present value factor for 10% for first year we're getting 0.909. Similar way we'll be calculating for all the values. So now I have calculated the present value interest rate factor for first year, second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year with the help of the BA2 plus calculator. So now we will be multiplying the coupon amount with the interest rate factor. Then we'll be getting the present value of cash flows. So I'll put this number as 1, this 2, then we'll be multiplying 1 into 2. So 100 into 0.909, we have 90.9, then we have 82.6, then we have 75.1, then we have 68.3, then we have here we'll be multiplying with 1100 into 0.621. So 1100 into 0.621. So we'll be getting 683.1. So now we have to add all the present value of the cash flow. So total present value of the cash flow we'll be adding, and we'll be seeing what is the value of the bond, right? When the required rate of return is 10% and your coupon rate is 10%. We have the coupon rate is 10% and your required rate of return is 10%. So I'll be adding this 90.1 plus 82.6 plus 75.1 plus 68.3 plus 683.1. So I'm getting 999.2. So when this PVCF is added, we'll be getting value say 1000. So it means that the when we have the required rate of return is 10% and the coupon rate is at 10%, we find that the price of the bond or the value of bond remains at 1000. Okay, so which is equal to your face value of your bond, face value of bond. So when the required rate of return and coupon rate are same, we find that the value of the bond uh, is 1000, that we have calculated value of the bond is equal to the face value of the bond. It means that we are at par. Second situation that we would see is nothing but regarding the required rate of return is 12%. Suppose the required rate of return is 12% and the coupon rate we remain it as 10%. So what will be the situation right now? So we'll be drawing the same table and we'll be calculating the uh, coupon amount. So coupon amount will be the same value we have. So we'll be calculating the required rate of return at 12% and the coupon rate at 10%. So the year will be first year, second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year. We'll be having the same coupon payment amount 100, 100, then 1100. So now we'll be calculating the present value interest factor at 12 percentage. So let us get back into our the BE2 calculator. So in this, we'll be setting n has 1. Then the required rate of return is nothing but 12 percentage. Then we'll be putting the face value as -1 and we'll be computing the present value interest factor, which we are getting is nothing but 0.892. So similar way we'll be calculating the for other years also. So now after calculating the present value interest rate factor for 12% for each year, I have written the value over here. Now we'll be multiplying the coupon amount and the present value interest factor. Then we'll be getting the present value cash flows. 1 into 2. So 100 into 89.3, we have 89.3. Then we have 79.7. Then we have 71.2. Then we have 63.6. Then we'll be multiplying 1100 into 0.567. So we'll be getting 623.7. So when I'll be adding all the present value cash flows, we'll be getting the so this is nothing but total present value cash flows. Total present value cash flow will be nothing but the value of the bond that will be determining. So we'll be adding it 89.3 plus 79.7 plus 71.2 plus 63.6 plus 623.7. So we'll be getting 927.50. So 927.50. In the second situation, we find that when the required rate of return, which is R, is at 12% and the coupon rate is at 10%, we find the price of the bond or the value of the bond is 927.50. The face value of the bond that we have is rupees 1000, right? Then we'll be getting into the third situation. So now we are getting into the third situation where the required rate of return is 8%. The coupon rate which is given to us is 10%. And the face value of the bond we have is rupees 1000. So let us get into the table part. We have the year, we have the coupon amount or the cash flows. Then we'll be calculating the present value interest factor at 8%. Then we have the present value cash flow. So we have the years: first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year. So we'll be sticking with the fixed coupon rate. So we'll be having the coupon rate for first year coupon amount of 100, 100, and 1100. So now we will be calculating the present value interest factor at 8%. So let us get into the calculator. So here for the first year, I'll be calculating the present value interest rate factor. So first year n, and 8% is your required rate of return. Then 1 minus 1 is nothing but the future value, and we'll be computing the present value. So which is nothing but 0.925. Similar way we'll be calculating for all the years. So I have calculated the present value interest rate factor at 8% for first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year. Now we'll be calculating the present value cash flow. So we'll be multiplying the interest received or the coupon amount or the cash inflow into the present value interest factor. Then we'll be getting the present value of the cash flow. So 1 into 2. So it will be 92.6, 85.7, 79.4, then we have 73.5, and here we are getting the interest amount and the maturity value back. So 1100 into 0.681, so I'm getting 7749.1. So now we'll be adding the present value of the cash flows, which is nothing but we'll be doing the total present value of cash flow, which is nothing but this will be the value of our bond. So I'll be adding this 92.6 plus 85.7 plus 79.4 plus 73.5 plus 749.1. So I'll be getting the bond value as 1080.30. So in this situation, we have seen that the required rate of return is 8%, right? The coupon rate is 10%, and we find that the value of bond is 1080.30. After calculating the above three situations of the various required rate of return, that is 10%, 12%, and 8%, we will do the interpretation, overall interpretation. So we have the required rate of return of 10%, then we have calculated on 12% required rate of return, then we have calculated the required rate of return of 8% to find the value of the bond. So we have kept the coupon rate as same 10%, 10%, and 10%. Right now we have calculated the value of the bond for required rate of return is 10% and coupon is 10%. Then we'll be getting the value of the bond is 1000, and the face value of the bond we already have 1000. Here we find that the value of the bond is equal to the face value of the bond, right? The value of the bond is equal to the face value of the bond. So here we refer to this as the coupon. When the coupon rate is equal to the required rate of return, we find the value of the bond is equal to face value of the bond. So the value of the bond is nothing but the calculated value of the bond is equal to the face value of the bond. And similar way, when we have done a variation on required rate of return of 12%, we find that the value of the bond that we have found for 12%, we are getting 927.50, 927.50, and a face value of the bond we are having 1000. In this case, we find that when the required rate of return is greater than the required rate of return is greater than the coupon rate, that is 12% is greater than 10%, we find that the value of the bond is less than the face value. The value of the bond, the value of the bond is less than your face value of the bond, right? So calculated value of the bond is less than face value of the bond when the required rate of return is greater than your coupon rate. Then coming to the third situation, we have done the variation of the required rate of return. When we have the required rate of return which is less than your coupon rate, so what is the value of the bond? What we have got, the value of the bond is 1080.30. So we are getting the value of the bond 1080.30. The face value of the bond will remain the same. In this situation, in this case, we have found that when the required rate of return is less than the coupon rate of interest, when the required rate of return is less than coupon rate of interest, we find the value of the bond is greater than the face value of the bond, right? The value of the bond is greater than is its face value. So it means that these are the interpretations that we have to see at what rate of interest or at what required rate of return we have to buy the bond, and depending upon the situations, the market interest rate factor will affect, or the market risk factors may affect the price of the bond. So we have to be very careful in buying a bond or holding a bond. So this will make you sense on how to interpret a price of the bond.